was put to Sergeant Mokhane. Your version, Ntanzi, is that from Moroka Police Station, you proceeded to First Flores Court, is that correct? On the 19th of June 2020.
Ntanzi, khona futhi okunye futhi ke okuyinkinga nje ngofakazi bakho lobu ke obabekwa la enkantolo. Ngokuya ngofakazi bakho ngalenkathi ke kubekela ke umnzana Mokhane ke kwathiwa ke mansuka ke eMoroka police station naya eForce Lorase usuku ke beku 19 zika June ngo2020 kunjani?
Mangisuka eMoroka ngile Force Lorase ngangazi ukuthi kiwe Force Lorase neForce Lorase ngangayazi ngayibona sengifika khona.
Yes, from Moroka police station we proceeded to Force Lorase. I did not know at that time Force Lorase and a police station, and I did not know Force Lorase as a whole itself.
You recall that your matter was not enrolled, whereupon just after lunchtime you then made your way back to Moroka police station, is that correct?
Usakhumbula ke ukuthi eqaleni ke icala lakho belingekho ke emaqaleni labo wakhona enkantolo ngalosuku lolo, kodwa ke emva kokudla kwasemini niyena buyela futhi khona lapha eMoroka police station. Usakhumbula lokho?
Cha, asiqalanga ePolice Station, suka nje eForce Lorase ePolice Station. Siqale eForce Lorase esibhedlela eBalakwana.
No, we from Force Lorase we then proceeded to the hospital at Baragwana.
Yes, then to Orlando where you say you were assaulted, then to Moroka police station.
Emva kaloko nase niya eOrlando lapho wathi khona washaya khona, emva kaloko naye futhi la eMoroka police station kunjani?
Yebo.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. You see, there's a version that was put by Mr. Ngumezulu suggesting that you were assaulted on your way from the Force Lorase court on the 19th of June 2020 near Ring Road in Alberton.
Khona ke inkulumo ke ebekwa umnumzana uMngomezulu ke owathi uMngomezulu ke wena ke washaywa ke ngalenkathi ke nisendleleni on their way to Force Lorase.
No, on their way from the
Okay.
from Force Lorase.
Endleleni nibuya eForce Lorase.
And we will give you details just now.
Uthi umsheshisi ke uzokunika ke inkulumo ephelele ngalokho. Wena uthini kuloko uMngomezulu?
Kosenkantolo akaze ngishawe mina lokhuzeni endleleni imoto ihamba.
My lord, I was never assaulted on the way whilst the car was still in motion.
Angazi mayithi umshushisi ngashawa endleleni imoto ihamba. Khona umuntu oshawa endleleni emgwaqeni.
I don't understand what the prosecutor is putting before the court when he said I was assaulted when the car was on motion. How can somebody be assaulted when the car is on motion on the road?
Mina lapha ecourt engikhuluma amahlandla amaningi la ngokushawa kwami. Ngathi zi18, zi19, zi24.
I had mentioned about my assault on many occasions before the court, and I gave the dates of the 18th, the 19th, and the 24th.
Ukuthi uMngomezulu umhane ubemsesha kanjani ngendlela amsesha ngayo. Mina ngizile lapha ecourt ngazokhuluma into eyayenzeka kimi ngekho ngoba mina angikhulumi ngento ngiyizwa, ngikhuluma ngento eyayenzeka kimi.
How Mngomezulu will pose or try to get information from Mokhane, I'm talking about what happened to me. That is what I'm explaining before the court today.
Izolo ngisengayivezela ecourt ngathi umhane ubephika izinto lapha phambi kwecourt ade garage akazangaye mina ngimtshela ukuthi egarage sile.
Yesterday, my lord, I did mention before the court that Mokhane had denied some of the things that he did or some of the things that happened, especially the part whereby he denied that he went to the garage.
Waphinde waphika ukuthi wabona uJonathan nge18. Makufika uJonathan la uyavuma ukuthi hayi mina uqala ukungibona nge18 no Sergeant Mokhane egarage.
And also he denied that he saw Jonathan on the 18th, but when he saw Jonathan, that's when now he admitted that he saw him on that particular day, the 18th, at the garage.
Baba Ntanzi, the proposition was not that you were assaulted in the vehicle on the way from First Flores Court. The proposition was that the vehicle stopped near Ring Road. You were taken out of the motor vehicle next to steel pipes and tanks, where you were tortured, electrocuted with a device at around 15:22 on the 19th of June 2020.
Mnumzane Ntanzi ke uthi umshushisi akubekayo ubengasho ukuthi ke wena washaywa imoto ihamba. Akushayo ukuthi ke imoto le iye yamiswa laphana ku ring road. Yamiswa lapho wakhishwa khona emotweni wena wayeswa khona lapho kube kunama pipe khona ke namatangi khona lapho ke wafike washaywa khona waphinde futhi ke wachokwa khona lapho isikhathi beku 1522 ngazo ke i19.
Ingakho nje phambi kwecourt.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Macala kancane.
This was even before you reached Baragwana and the ATMs at Soweto where you say you were assaulted.
Lokhu ke kwenzake ngaphambi ukuthi ke nifike lapha eBaragwana nalapha kuma ATM eSoweto la wena wathi ke washaywa khona.
Ingakho nje nazo bengitshela ngathi udukisa icourt. Ngendlela owenza ngayo la phambi kwecourt. Udukisa lenkulumo eqoshwayo lapha ecourt. Uthatha inkulumo nge18 uyenza inkulumo nge19.
That is why I had mentioned before the court that you are misleading the court. You are actually taking the happenings of the 18th and making them the happenings of the 19th.
Ilanga lama pipe namatanka ilanga la nge18 lapha eSoweto Rock kwangenatanka indawo yayigrethiwe bese bangama ATM ngaphakathi neground engangilibona.
Maca. The issue, the happenings of the steel pipes and the tanks is the things that happened on the 18th. Ngicela uphinde lokwane unga 19.
Akwange19 indawo yayiguguliwe le engathi indawo nje kulahla indwa kwakungathi indawo egrethiwe kuze ngibona ama ATM ngibone negate ama ATM angaphakathi neground.
And the 19th is a graded place, my lord, and that's where I saw the ATMs, the gate, and also the ground.
Manje yangimangazi mase uthatha inkulumo nge18 uyenza nge19.
So now I'm surprised when you make the happenings of the 18th to be the ones for the 19th.
No, sir, I'm putting to you what your legal representative put to Sergeant Mukhani.
Mnumzane cha mina ngikwenzayo nje ukuthi ngikubekele ke lokho kwashiwo ummeli wakho ekusho ke ku Sergeant Mukhale ngalenkathi uMukhale naye ethula ufakazi bakhe la enkantolo.
Because enkantolo ubaba uMgomezulu wayesesha umhani ngendlela emsesha ngayo.
My lord, Mr. Mgomezulu was searching or trying to get information from Mr. Mukhale the way, in his own way.
Mina ngikhona la ngikhona phambi kwecourt ngiyakutshela into ayenzeka kimi.
But today I am here before the court and explaining to you the things that happened to me.
But your version is that on your way from First Lawrence Court, you did not stop next to Ring Road where you were taken out of the motor vehicle next to steel pipes, steel tanks where you were tortured, electrocuted with a device. You say that incident happened on the 18th, not on the 19th, on the way from First Lawrence Court.
Isehlakalo lesi ke sokuthi ke imoto iyama laphana kwi Ring Road phambi kwama tank lawena lapho washaya khona waphinde futhi washokwa khona uthi wena uthe isehlakalo esenzeka nge18
ilanga la nge18 lase garage kusuka garage siphuma lapho siyalapha sasiya khona lapha ngangithoshala khona lapha ngaze ngabona khona ama tank ngiwabokela ekudeni ngoba le indawo yama dustbin le indawo ngathi chithwa ama dustbin.
It's the happenings of the 18th, my lord, where it happened close to the garage, and from where I was I could see the tanks. It's a place where they normally throw dustbins.
Yes, sir. We're going to take you through that version which we have referred to that was put by Mr. Mgomezulu to Sergeant Mukhani. This we see during the proceedings of 15 November 2023, page 62, from the 4th line. I'll just read it and give it to you to be interpreted. Mr. Mgomezulu, all right. You were no longer escorted. At some stage, you parked near Ring Road without any escort. This now on the way from the First Lawrence Court, Sergeant Mukhani. As I've explained previously that we had stopped by the mall and we bought water and chips. Line 9, Mr. Mgomezulu. Yes, that is the reason why I wanted to remind you about that, because you even said you bought water and Simba chips for accused number 2. So what I want to put across to you, and I will emphasize it, there was water involved. Then Sergeant Mokhani, we also bought for ourselves, my lord. We did not only buy for him. Then Mr. Mgomezulu, yes. The reason why I'm asking that is because the version of accused 2 also deals with water that was poured on his body from the front part of his body. That is the reason why I introduced water in his evidence. Then line 21, Sergeant Mokhani, when he informs you, did he inform you on who poured water on him? Then Mr. Mgomezulu, at line 23, this accused person played open cards before this honorable court. He told the court that you never participated in his assault, so therefore you cannot, he cannot include you with the act of pouring him with water. This proceeds on page 63. Then Sergeant Mokhani, I'm still listening. Then line 3, Mr. Mgomezulu. And it is my instruction from accused 2 that on the same route you were driving, after you have off-rammed from Heidelberg, and he says, sorry, my lord, from N3, on that road, there's a dumping area on the right-hand side when you are facing Alberton. And Sergeant Mokhani says, I'm listening. Then Mr. Mgomezulu, at 1442, this is now referring to the AVL, it indicates access idle, Ring Road, or near Ring Road. Sergeant Mokhani, that is correct. Then Mr. Mgomezulu to 1522, and the car was on access idle. Do you see that? Then Sergeant Mokhani says that is correct. Then Mr. Mgomezulu. Then in between those times, it is a period of 40 minutes. Do you see that? Then Sergeant Mokhani says, as you are stating. Then the following portion is important. It's line 18, Mr. Mgomezulu. That is the instruction of accused 2 that was the time when he was taken out of the motor vehicle next to those steel pipes, steel tanks, where he was tortured with that electrocuted with a device. That was that time. Sergeant Mokhani, if I recall very well, Mr. Mgomezulu, you had alleged that we took him to the steel pipe in Soweto, Orlando, before we took him to the officer Rapadu, and Officer Gininda came, and now are you saying we took him to the steel pipe in Alberton? I'll just proceed to line 10, where Mr. Mgomezulu says, my version initially, and it will stand as first time accused was next to a dumping area. It was on a route on a route towards Alberton. That is the first time, next to 2 tanks, silver tanks. The second time was when he was at Orlando, next to a dumping area. There were ATMs that were no longer in use. Do you understand now? That is a version that was put to Sergeant Mokhani. What is your comment?
Can I have the copy?
Oh, sorry.
Umshushisi ke uyabeka ke ufakazi lokhu ke obungobakho uyothoma umntana uMgomezulu ebekela yena umntana eMokhale ke mhla ka 15 November uyasho ukuthi ke page 62 futhi uqala ke ku line number 4 uthi ke uMgomezulu ke okay ngiyezwa ke uthi ngale nkhathi leso ke bengikho abantu bebahamba nani esikhothile futhi kuba khona inkandla lapho ke imoto ke iyapaka lapha ku ring road kungekho abantu abasikhetile na. Uyaphendule ke umkhalo uthi ke njengoba ke ngiye ngachaza ngaphambili siye sama lapha kwi mall sasithenga ke amanzi futhi nama chips. Uthi komngomezulu ke ngiyezwa yiso ke izathu sami lesengifuna ukuthi ngikhumbuze ukuthi ke ngoba na umsolo yasho ukuthi ke niye nami nathenga amanzi futhi nama chips kusho yena umsolo wesibili. Engifuna ukubekela khona manje ukuthi nje phela ngikwazisa ukuthi bekhona amanzi khona bewakhona ke ngalosuku lolo. Uthi Mohane ke nathi ke sasithengela ke inkosi enkantolo azange sithengele yena kuphela umsola ngalosuku lolo. Aqhubeke umngomezulu athi ke yebo isizathu ke uthi ngikubuze lokho ukuthi ke umsola wesibili na uyakhuluma ke ngendaba le yamanzi. Uyabeka nokuthi ke ngalosuku lona lolo ke wathelwa ke ngamanzi emzimbeni ngaphambili emzimbeni wakhe. Yisizathu lesi ke nami ngifuna ukuthi ngilethe ke ubufakazi lobo bamanzi njengofakazi bakhe phambi kwenkantolo. Uthi ke Mohane ke uthi ngalenkathi yena umsola ke ekutshela konke lokho uyawakutshela na ukuthi ke ubani uyamthela ngamanzi na. Ubuza uMohane lo mbuzo lo. Uthi umngomezulu ke uthi umsola ke olapha phambi kwenkantolo ke uthi umngomezulu umsola enkantolo ke uye wakhuluma iqiniso azange aloka jika ngendaba. Uyachaza nokuthi ke wena asuwena umuntu ke owamthela ke ngamanzi ngalolo suku lolo. Athi Mohane ngisalalela athi umngomezulu yona ke into angitshele yona ke umsola wesibili uthi ngalosuku lona lolo wena boqhuba imoto emva kwaloko nase nisuka lapha kule off ramp yalomgwaqo lo yalapha eHeidelberg athi sorry ngiyaxolisa nkosi enkantolo bekusuka ku M3 kulomgwaqo lo futhi kunendawo nje lapho ke kulahlelwa khona udoti ngapha ngaku right mawubhekile ke umgwaqo khona ubheke ke endleleni yale Albertine. Athi Mohane ngisalalele futhi nalapho uthi umngomezulu ke isikhathi beku 1442 futhi imoto nje beyiduma khona ngalapho ngase ring road duze ngase ring road noma ke duze ke naye ring road. uMohane athi ke lelo iqiniso athi umngomezulu kuzokube u1522 neimoto futhi naye futhi ke bisaduma ngakhathi leso uyakubona lokho. Athi uMohane iqiniso lona lelo. Athi umngomezulu yebo ngazo lenkathi lezi ezimbili lezi azikhulumile 1442 no 1552 ngaba u40 minutes ngaphakathi uyakubona konke lokho. Athi uMohane usho njalo. Athi umngomezulu yiyona into engitshela yona umsola wesibili leyo ukuthi isikhathi ngalenkathi ke ekhishwa ngaphakathi kwemoto ngaphambi kwale ndawo le yamapipe lamakhulu lawo ensimbi lapho afika khona ke nase nimshoka khona lapho futhi ke nimchoka ngale mshini lo nawusebenzisa bekuyisikhathi sona leso. Athi Mohane uma ngikhumbula kahle mzana Ngomezulu uye wathi eqaleni wena siye samthatha samisa ngale emaphayipini lapha eSoweto eOrlando ngaphambi ukuthi ke simise kuma office ka Rapadi no Gininda no Gininda kodwa manje futhi uyashintsha futhi sesamthatha samisa kuma pipe la ngale eAlbertine. Athi Mohane ngicela ukubekela lokhu ke kube khona ke mhlawumbe umuntu ongenayo bathi ngoba intervenes ithi court ke can you speak English uthi ngicela ukukhuluma isilungu lo mshini lona awukwazi uthatha ke bonga bokhuluma ke ngesintu noma ngesizulu. Should I still continue?
Yes, up to the end of the page.
Athi Ngomezulu ngaqhubeka ithi inkosi enkantolo yebo ngilale. Athi uMohane yebo ngilalela inkosi enkantolo. Athi Ngomezulu ngiqondisa inkosi enkantolo ngaqhubeka phambili ithi inkantolo yebo ngaqhubeka phambili.
Yes, thank you. Up to that point. And
Angisaphendula phela.
yes, you can continue.
Can I respond?
Yes.
Yebo ngaphendula manje.
Nkosi enkantolo ma uthi ngizwa kahle lenkulumo ngentolokela umama losedodanana. Leli phepha lelumngomezulu usesha iwitness ngendlela ayibuza ngayo ngokuba yiloya kwakhe lapho kodwa.
My Lord, if I understand the interpretation of what has just been interpreted to me, Ngomezulu was putting the questions to the witness, trying to get information from the witness in a way he knows best.
Uma ukuthi ngiyimamela kahle ngoba uyezwa khapha khuma khona ngeAlberton khapha khuma khona ngeSoweto.
If I really understand, because in that document, there's a place where they are speaking of Alberton and there's another place where they are talking about Soweto.
Mina lapha ecourt ngiye eside yaseAlberton nge18.
I went to the Alberton side, my lord, on the 18th.
Nge19 yilanga lesebhalakwana seSoweto eMroka.
The 19th is the day of the happenings at Baragwana in Moroka.
Mangibona amathanki la khuma ngangomezulu kwakuzi 18 not in 19.
When I saw the tanks that Mr. Mngomezulu was referring to, it was on the 18th and not on the 19th.
Manje umngomeze ngendlela esesha ngayo umhana uyazi eto emsesha ngayo iphindlela lapha ecourt.
And Mngomezulu, the way he was putting his questions or trying to get information from Mohane knows best, my lord.
Mina ngikhona ngimilela icourt ngiyayicacisela kuba mhlambe engafuneka ecourt ngizohlala lapho kuhleli khona uSibili. Umuntu bengafanele ngena ngicacisela icourt.
I am here before the court, standing before the court, explaining the things that happened on those particular days. If I was not needed, I would have been sitting where others are seated, my lord.
No, but Baba Ntanzi, when your lawyer cross-examines, he puts a version after consulting with you, he puts your version to a witness.
Kodwa cha ke mzana Ntanzi ke ummeli wakho uma ke la inkantolo ebuza futhi imibuzo noma ebeka inkulumo la inkantolo ke ukwenza lokhu seke khulume nawe wena somtshelile ukuthi ke inkulumo yakho ime ngalendlela le ufika la inkantolo ummeli.
My lord, as I was listening to the state reading what is contained in the record here, there's a portion where Mr. Mngomezulu is engaging Mr. Mohane, explaining these two incidents. He starts by saying there's a first incident and there's also a second incident. But now when that is being interpreted there, before the interpreter gets into that portion, then the state is requesting the interpreter to stop there, even before that is being interpreted, that which Mr. Mngomezulu is explaining. Before, in other words, that which the state had read, which was explained by Mr. Mngomezulu, had not been interpreted to this witness, so that in his answer, he also factors that explanation that Mr. Mngomezulu gave to Mr. Mohane, as it has been read into the record by the state. I'll request that the interpreter be afforded the opportunity to also read what Mr. Mngomezulu actually explained to Mr. Mohane, because he explained of a first and a second incident. It was just towards the end of what the state was reading as an engagement between Mr. Mngomezulu and Mr. Mohane.
But by all means, we will give it back to the interpreter. But I think what counsel is referring to is on page 64, line 10, Mr. Mngomezulu. My version initially, and it will stand as first time accused was next to a dumping area. It was on a route towards Alberton. That is the first time next to two tanks, silver tanks. The second time was when he was at Orlando next to a dumping area. There were ATMs that were no longer in use. Do you understand now? I suppose that
Uyabeka ke uthi ke ummeli uthi ke umshushisi ke okwenzakele ke ngalenkathi umzana uNgomezulu ke ebeka ke lo fakazi lo inkantolo ke uthi umshushisi ke lokho utholakala ke ku page 64 u line number 10 uthi ke uMngomezulu ke okokuqala isenhlelo sokuqala ke senzakala ngalenkathi ke umsola ke lapha ngakundawo le elahlayo ke udoti ngala ngase ngakumathangi labo wakhona la wa silver isahlalo sokuqala lesi esesibili senzakale Orlando ngale ngakuma dumping area ile nkathi uMngomezulu ke ebekela ke yena uMohane izahlakalo lezi zembili sokuqala esilapha ngaku dumping area lapha kunamatanga silver khona esesibili lapha eOrlando.
Do you wish to comment?
Khona ufuna ukusho kulokho
Ingoba ngisho phambi kodwa mina nge18 ilanga lase Alberton nge19 ilanga lase Soweto.
I am saying that on the 18th is the happenings of Alberton and the 19th the happenings of Soweto.
Okunye phambi kwekhodi ngiyacela engona kumhlambe ngehlisa isithunzini. Mina ngicela umshushisi angangibizi inkosi enkantolo ngobaba mina ngumfana. Mina ngumfana asikho izathu ukuthi angibize ngobaba ngoba emdala kangaka.
My Lord, with due respect, and I'm not trying to undermine anyone, I am just requesting that the prosecutor should not call me Ubaba.
Yimi
I'm a young
ngibhekisa
man.
igama kuye ngithi baba yena fela ngibize ngendlela engangibiza ngayo kodwa ayothi baba mina igama la baba ubaba ukhona ekhaya uyaphila.
I am actually the one, my Lord, who's supposed to call him Ubaba,
Yes. No
not
problem.
him calling me. He can use any other name, but not Ubaba.
No problem. It was used in the context of Mr. Ntanzi, Baba Ntanzi.
Uthi ke umshushusi ke makasusa lapha esingisini angithi ungisini kuba uMr Ntanzi uma kuletha ngapha ke sizulwini ke kuba ubaba uNtanzi.
Cha angivumi mina ngiyala.
No, I'm not.
Ngoba yena msho
Yes.
mangaqamba amaphambi kodwa unengane elingana nami ngeke abize ingane yakhe ngobaba baba ekhona eqekeni ngeke yenzeke le.
Because I'm sure that you have a child who is of my age. You cannot call your own child Ubaba.
Thank you. As I said, it was just a mere courtesy extended to you out of respect to you, but we'll call you Mr. Ntanzi.
Uthi phela bekuyinhlonipho nje bekathi mhlawumbe umletha ngakuwe kodwa kusukela namhlanje uzokubiza ke umnumzane Ntanzi.
Cha kuyona inhlonipho kimi ngelanguage yami ngeke ubize ingane ngobaba.
In my language it is not respect. You cannot call a child Ubaba.
Right, moving on, Mr. Ntanzi. We have referred to the portion on page 63 of the proceedings of 15 November 2023, where Mr. Mgomezulu said the following, that, and this we see at line 9, Mr. Mgomezulu, at 1442, it indicates excess idling Ring Road or near Ring Road. Then at line 11, Mr. Mgomezulu says to 1522, and the car was on excess idle. And he says at line 18, that is the instruction of accused 2 that was the time when he was taken out of the motor vehicle next to those steel pipes, steel tanks, where he was tortured with that electrocuted with a device. That was the time. We wish to show you an extract of the AVL report, which was handed up as Exhibit M2 in brackets A, indicating the registration number of the vehicle. And what is important is the date is the registration is FV47 LRGP. That's the Toyota Fortuner. Date and time 2020 06/19, and the time is 14:42:08. It says status access idle, location near Ring Road East, New Market, Alberton. Then it gives the longitude and the latitude. Then at 1522:32, the registration number of the vehicle is FV47 LRGP. The date 2020 06/19. 1522:32, it shows excess idle. Speed, it says 0, odometer 0. Also at 14:42:01, it was the speed and odometer were 00 respectively. So also at 1522:32, 00, speedometer and odometer. Location near Ring Road, East Newmarket Park, Alberton. Now, the proposition by Mr. Mngomezulu was that on the 19th of June 2020, as per the AVL report, that between those times, 1442 and 1522, near Ring Road, when the car was in idle mode, that it is the instruction of accused 2 that that was the time when he was taken out of the motor vehicle next to the steel pipe, steel tanks, where he was tortured, electrocuted with a device. That was the time.
Mnumzane Ntanzi, ngokuya ke ngama records akhona la enkantolo ke okwenzakala ngale nkathi umzana uNgomezulu ke ethula ufakazi bakho la enkantolo. Uwathi uNgomezulu ke ngaphakathi kwale nkathi lezi ke u1442 no1522 ile yankathi ke ngomhla ka19 June ngo2020 ile yankathi ke wena owasho ukuthi ke ilapho ke owakhishwa khona emotweni wasoyisa ngakulenga kulama pipe lawa wezinsimbi. Ilapho ke owafika ke washokwa khona waphinde futhi ke washokwa futhi ngomshini ke ngokuya ke nge-ALV report ikhombisa ke imoto ke beku inamba khona beku FV 47LRGP. Uthi ke futhi echaza ukuthi ke lapho ke bengalapha ngase Newmarket ke emgwaqweni lo wase Alberton isikhathi futhi beku 15:22:32 idate ku 19 zika June 2020 ispeed futhi ke kuyi 0 imoto beyiduma nje kuphela futhi lo indawo ke location ke ku Ring Road.
Kwasenkantolo namanje ngiyaphinda mina. I'm sure athi sengiphendule kathathu or kayi4 phambi kwecourt. Ngithi mina ilanga lama pipe ilanga la nge18. Noma ngisho baba uMngomezulu lapha kasibhala akayibhalanga idate ilanga la ukuthi zi18 noma zi19. Kuphela yena usesha umhane ngendlela amsesha ngayo.
Okay. My lord, I think I've answered this question several times. I think maybe around 3 times. And I still say that the days, the happenings of the 18th include the steel pipes. And just to add again is that Mr. Mngomezulu was actually searching or questioning Mr. Mohale in a way he knows best, my lord.
Kwasenkantolo mina ngiye nge18 ngelanga lase Alberton angiyanga nge19.
I went on the 18th, my lord, not on the 19th to Alberton.
Mina nge18 bengisuka eCarltonville lapha engangisebenza khona size sifike eAlberton.
On the 18th, I was from Carltonville where I was working till we reached Alberton.
Yes. Mr. Mngomezulu, without belaboring the point, contextualizes this assault with reference to the AVL between those times on the 19th of June 2020. Those times 1442 and 1522.
Mzwane Ntanzi ke engifuna sibheke ke ile AVL report esitholile ke phakathi kwale nkathi ezimbili engikhulume ngazo u144208 no152232.
Namanje kwasenkantolo lesikhathi esakhuluma ngaso la umshushisi kwamina uqobo lwami ngoba ngemla akaze ngikhulume ngesikhathi.
My lord, the time that the prosecutor is referring to, even myself standing before the court, I've never or I've not mentioned these times.
Ngoba mina nje ngiyimi mina la phambi kwecourt azange ngikhulume ngesikhathi uMngomezulu uyayizwa nenkulumo yakhe usesha abantu usesha lo muntu ambuzayo ngemibuzo yakhe ukuthi ngelanga lisokwenza ukuthi ngelanga lisokwenza ukuthi.
I have never mentioned anything about the times. Mngomezulu was putting the questions to the witness that was before court, trying to get information from the witness of what happened on certain days or on these particular days.
Yes. And we've indicated to you that a lawyer carries out the instructions of client, and this is what Mr. Mngomezulu says. He says, that is the instruction of accused number 2, yourself, that he was taken out of the motor vehicle next to the steel pipes between those times that you've indicated, where he was tortured, electrocuted with a device.
Mnumzane siye sakubekela ukuthi ke ummeli ke uma ke yena ezenkantolo ke ukhuluma ke akutshele uyena umuntu lamele enkantolo. Uyachaza futhi ke uthi ke ummeli ke uMngomezulu ke accuse number 2 uthi ke ngale nkathi lezi esizikhulumile le nkathi lezi ezimbili esichaza ke yena u1442 nayo 1522 uthi umsola wesibili ke inkathi le akhishwa ngayo emotweni wasethathwa ke ayiswa kulama pipe amakhulu la silver lapho wafika washokwa khona.
Namanye Nkosi enkantolo ngiyaphinda zi18 not in 19.
I am repeating myself again, my lord. Those were the happenings of the 18th and not of the 19th.
Mina futhi lapha ecourt azange ngikhulume ngesikhathi mina.
And here in court, I have never said anything about the time.
You see, you said the following when my colleague Dr. Sibanda confronted you in cross-examination during the proceedings of 12 February 2024 about this version, page 77, the last line, we'll maybe start at line 12, Dr. Sibanda. It was put to Sergeant Mohani on the 15th of November 2023 on page 63 of the record that at Ring Road around 1522 that the instruction of accused 2 is that at the time when he was taken out of the motor vehicle next to those steel pipes, steel tanks, he was tortured and electrocuted with the device. Then you responded that you maintained that we were assaulted on the 18th, 19th, and 24th, and the place where I was assaulted on the 19th, it was Orlando. Then Dr. Sibanda said it was a version that was put to Sergeant Mohani that it is your instruction. Then he responded as follows. I believe that Mr. Mngomezulu is the one that has put that to Sergeant Mohani, and I would not be able to speak on his behalf as he is present in court.
Uyabeka ke umshishisi uthi ke naku ke manje futhi ke ngale nkathi ke uDr Sibanda kuyile ngalosuku lolo ke ekubuza imibuzo ke bekuyi 12 zika February ngo2024 masikubheka futhi lokho ke kusekhasini ke page number 77 sicela ku line number 12 uDr Sibanda ke uthi ke uMukhane ke uyobekela ubufakazi ukuthi ke wena uye wakhishwa ngalosuku lolo vele ngempela emotweni bekulaphana ke eRing Road ngazo lenkathi ke ezimbili akhulume ngazo ke ngalosuku lolo ke wena waphendula wathi ke ngisamile ekutheni ke ukuthi mina ke ngashawa ke mhla ka18 19 nango 24 in19 ke konke lokwenzakala ke eOrlando lapho ngashayelwa khona ke athi ke uDr Sibanda futhi ke kodwa ke ufakazi bakho ukuthi uMngomezulu uye wathi ke wena uthe ngalosuku lolo ke in19 lezo ke lapho washaya khona wena wasephendula wathi ke awukwazi ukuthi ungaphendula ke lokho kwashaya uMngomezulu ngoba uMngomezulu naye ukhona la enkantolo ke lo muntu owakhuluma leyo nkulumo leyo wena awukwazi ukuthi ungaphendula kule nkulumo leyo kaMngomezulu.
Le nkulumo ngitolelo sisa ayikho lapha elokhuzeni ehluka enkulumeni yami lengekhuluma phambi kwekhothe.
What has just been interpreted to me, my lord, is not different from what I've been saying before the court.
Ngoba mawuthula umamela leli record engangibuza khona uCibanda uyayifaka i18.
If you listen to the record where Nzibande is involved, he does mention the date of the 18th.
Wena ukhuluma nge18 phambi kwekhothe namshushisa ukhuluma ngani ukhuluma nge19.
But you are not talking about the 18th, they are only referring to the 19th.
Yes. I'm merely rehashing the version of your lawyer at the time, Mr. Mngomezulu.
Mina nje phela ngikwenza nje phela ukuthi phela ngitshele ke ukuthi ke uMngomezulu ke umeli lobe kumeli wakho ngalesikhathi ke wabeka enkantolo wathini njengenkulumo esuka kuwena.
Mina ngikhona la phambi kwekhothe ithe ikhothe ifanele sisiphendulele lezi itsolo ezithwesa ngikhona la ngizosiphendulela.
I am before the court. I was informed that I need to respond to the allegations that have been put before me. That is why I'm here to respond.
Yeah, just before we leave this aspect, there's this last portion that we wish to refer you to on the 12th of February 2024, page 82, where Dr. Sibanda put this version to you at line 19. saying, and the version that was put is that at a particular stop, the accused was taken out of the motor vehicle. He was taken to those steel pipes when he was tortured and assaulted and he was electrocuted. That was in the context of the incident of the 19th of June 2020. And your response was, I still maintain that I was assaulted at an area where I saw a board that mentioned Orlando.
Uyaphinde futhi aqhubeka ke umshishisi uthi ke masibuyele futhi emuva kulo fakazi lo page number 88 ngale nkathi uDr Sibande kuyena lo suku lolo ke ubebuza ke imibuzo ke uDr Sibande ke uyawathi ke uyakubekela ukuthi ke ubufakazi bakho kuyotho wena mhla ka19 June ke uyawathatha wayesa kule ndawo lena amapipe lamanye ke yasiva lapho wafika khona ke wasukusho kwakhona ke wena impendulo yakho wathi ke wena ngisama lapha ekuthela ukuthi langalisuku lolo ke ngasho kwa futhi ngashaywa ngabona futhi neboard lapho ke ethi Orlando.
Kusenkantolo eOrlando ngiye nge19 endaweni eyisigana lapho kwagrethwe khona ngathi indawo egrethile ngathi indawo yegcwele amaphepha ngoba ngapha kune ground kunama ATM ngaphakathi nge18 uyilesikhathi esingishawela khona kuphi lapho kuchithwa khona ama dust ngabona itrack lamasipala lingena khona
Ngicela uphinde futhi nge19
ngithi nge19 azange ngiboshwe emapipini
Okay, on the 19th
azange ngibone pipe nge19
Okay. My lord, on the 19th I did not see any pipes. Qhubeka futhi wathini?
amapipe abe nge18
I only saw the pipes on the 18th.
ngoba mangathi ulandele inkulumo kaBaba Sibanda uyasesha ngithi nawo sesha mina ngendlela ngisesha ngami mina ngiyamphendula.
If you follow the communication of Mr. Ntibande, he's putting questions to me, he's trying to get information from me, and I'm answering him the way I know best also.
namanje ngikhona lapha ecourt ngimile ngikhuluma nge18 ngikhuluma nge19 ngikhuluma nge24
Before the court today, I am referring to the incidents of the 18th, the 19th, and the 24th.
Yes. And even Sergeant Mukhani was confused by this version. We see that in his response, he says, Mr. Mgomezulu, I do not understand now because you are now confusing me, as in the morning you had said we met Colonel Rapadu and his wife, took the keys, and now you are referring to us meeting Colonel Rapadu in the afternoon. Is it changing now? Then Mr. Mgomezulu says, may I approach accused? So he approached you after putting that version that we have been treading through all morning. And after consulting with you, Mr. Mgomezulu said, Mr. Mukhani, you do not have to confuse your evidence with the evidence of accused 2. Accused 2, we confirmed with my colleague that according to his instruction, he did not meet Colonel Rapadu in the morning, but he met Colonel Rapadu in the evening. Then he said afternoon. And the court then said evening or afternoon, which is it now? Morning, evening, or afternoon? Then Mr. Mgomezulu said afternoon, my lord, sorry.
Uthi-ke umshushisi-ke umzana Ntanzi-ke naye umzana uMokhane-ke ubesedidekile naye ngofakazi bakho lobu ubabeka ngalosuku lolo-ke ngoba-ke uMokhane uthi-ke umzana Mngomezulu angisazwisisi-ke manje ngoba manje-ke sowuthi-ke ngididekile ngoba ekuseni wena Mngomezulu uye wathi-ke sesihlangana-ke noColonel Rapadu nonkosikazi wakhe wathatha-ke izikhiya-ke ezingaba 10 manje soyashintsha manje sothi-ke sihlangane noColonel Rapadi emini noma afternoon uyashintsha manje ufakazi bakho na uthi uMngomezulu Nkosi enkantolo ngicela ukuthi ngihambe ngiyobonana-ke nommangalelwa wesibili-ke ngizokwazi ukubuza lo daba leli-ke yathi inkantolo yakulungile akho nkinga ungambona-ke ummangalelwa lo wesibili abuye uMngomezulu athi mzana Mokhane ngiyabonga Nkosi enkantolo athi uMngomezulu umzana Mokhane ungasiphambanisi nje izinto futhi ungaphambanisi ke ufakazi bakhe ke umsolo wesibili ke. Umsolo wesibili ke Umsolo wesibili uyasho ukuthi ke ukuya ngaye ke azange ke ahlangane ke na Colonel Rapadu ekseni but kodwa ke bahlangana no Colonel Rapadu entambama. Athi uMngomezulu ngiyaxolisa sorry ngosenkantolo. Uthi ke sahlangana ke naye uthi khothi ke nihlangane nini kahle kahle entambama noma emini noma bekunini kahle kahle. Athi ke uMngomezulu ekseni uthi inkontrata ekseni noma ke emini noma ntambama. Athi uMngomezulu ntambama ngosenkantolo. Aphinda athi futhi sorry ngiyaxolisa ngosenkantolo. Yazwisisa baba?
Yebo ngiyakubona.
Yes, I can see that.
Mina vele phambi kwakho uRapata ngimbonanga ekseni ikhoti ngitshenile ngimbone entambama.
Yes, I did inform the court that I did not see Rapadi in the morning. I only saw Rapadi in the evening.
But we put it to you that this version about you being assaulted on the 19th of June 2020 at Ring Road or near Ring Road on the 19th of June 2020 between the times 14:42:01 and 19 June 2020 15:22:32 that you were taken out of the motor vehicle and then assaulted, demonstrate the fundamental problem with your version.
Uthi ke umshushisi mnumzana Ntanzi lenkulumo yakho le othi ke mhla ka 19 June ngo2020 isikhathi ke phakathi kuka 14:42:01 no 15:22:32 ukuthi wena wathathwa ke wakhishwa ke emotweni lapho ke wafika washaywa khona waphika waphinde futhi washokwa khona ke ikhombisa ke inkinga kakhulu nobufakazi bakho.
Ayikho inkinga ikhombisa phambi kwakho senkantolo wena ohlanganisa izinto phambi kwekhoti.
You are the one who's confusing things before the court. There's no problem with my evidence.
Eparakwana ngikhishiwe kuze neSoweto ngikhishiwe emotweni ngavela ngangisemotweni ngakhishwe emotweni ngawo shopping.
When we're in Soweto, since I was already inside the car, I was removed from the car, then I was electrocuted.
It's 18 lapho ngashaka khona ngase kuze neAlbertine kulapho kulahla khona ama dustbin.
On the 18th, that is when I was assaulted around Alberton in an area where they throw up dump.
Ngoba nakhona siqale kuphi siqale garage emotweni kaJonathan.
We started at the garage in Jonathan's car.
As we put it to you yesterday, that your version is riddled with contradiction regarding the alleged assault on the 19th June 2020.
Uthi umshushisi ke ubufakazi bakho ke lobu malaka kakhulukazi lobu khuma ngishaya kwakho ke bunento eziningi nje eziphambanayo.
Ayikho into ephambene phambi kwakho senkantolo.
There are no contradictions.
Wena odukisa inkantolo.
You are just misleading the court.
Okay. Right. Mr. Ntanzi, do you agree that the allegations of assault that you say were carried out on you to sign the confessions you made those allegations in the trial within the trial and are being repeated now, but there's nothing new in your evidence in chief now? You're just merely repeating what you said in the trial within the trial. There's nothing new. Do you agree?
Mnumzana Ntanzi, lokhu ke owakusho ke malana ke nokushaya kwakho nokuthi ke uyo wenzwa ukuthi uzukufikelela lapho ke wena uye wasigna ke ama confession lo ukuthi ke umshushisi ke uyavumela makathi ke uma sibheka konke okwenzekile ke akukho ecaleni lakho kuwusha ukuletha enkantolo usaphinda lento lezi ke wazikhuluma ke ngaphambili ngale nkathi kwenza ke i-trial ke ngaphakathi kwelenye i-trial akukho kuwusha usilethela kona usaphinda le yankulumo le owayikhuluma ke ngale yankathi.
Yes, ngoba vele ayikho into engayenza mina nosenza ngimbulalanga.
Yes, because there's nothing that I did and I did not unalive Senzo. Unalive Senzo.
Kwayena phambi kwale nkantolo ayikho into ayitshene ikhotha ukuthi Ntanzi nabo nali iphepha ubulala usenzo ngelanga ngaso ayikho.
Even yourself now before the court, there is nothing, no document that you have given the court to show that Ntanzi, here's the proof you killed Senzo.
Ufunda ama record am ephone kwangena iDNA kwangena izinto eziningi ekhotha ayikho into engihambisa nendaba yokubulala.
You read my phone records before the court. The DNA analysis was also brought before the court. There's nothing in all that you have brought before the court that shows that I have killed Senzo.
Utsheni court uthi mina ngibulela usenzo nabo ashuze futhi thina no ashuze siyaxhumana ayikho into ngibonisa wona phambi kwecourt.
You told the court that I and the co-accused who are also before the court that we killed Senzo, but there is nothing to show or to prove your statement.
Sorry, are you done?
Ngiqedile ngiphendula lento ongitshena.
Yes, I'm done. I was just responding to what you just put to me.
When we were dealing with your cell phone records, Exhibit DD 5E, Roman figure 1, you mentioned that whilst at Kosimampuru, you received visits from some of your friends. I think you mentioned Mr. Jack Butelezi.
Ngale nkathi ke sibheke ke wona ke wonke ke lama cell phone records wakho uye wathi ke ngale nkathi lapha ke eKhoshimampuru ke kukhona ke abanye ke abangani bakhe baya bakuvakashela uye wakhuluma ngomunye ke owu Jack Butelezi.
Mina ngithe uJack wafika eKhoshimampuru.
Did I mention that? Did I say Jack came to Koshimampuru?
No, we're just trying to establish. Did you say, or maybe let's put it to you this way. You said you did receive visits whilst you were at Kosimampuru, is that correct?
Kunjalo ke wena uye wathi la enkantolo ukuthi uyoba nazo isivakashi ngale nkathi lapha eKhoshimampuru.
Namanje ziyafika.
Even now I still have visits.
Yes, but we're referring to the very first visits. Who was the first person to visit you?
Manje sikhuluma ke ngabantu bokuqala bakuvakashela uba nomuntu oqala owakuvakashela ngale nkathi lapha ke eKhoshimampuru.
Cha ama visit ngawami. Akusiwa wakho, akusiwa futhi wasekhotha. Ama visit ngawami lejele.
They are my visits. They are not your visits. They are not the court's visits.
Ngoba nje ngamanje ngizobiza igama lomuntu. Laba amaphoyisa lana azoya kuye ayombuza ukuthi uhlanganisane nami.
Because now if I now divulge that information and give you a name, the police officer now will go to the person that I just mentioned,
Yes.
just to find out what brings us together.
But did you say when we're dealing with your cell phone records that Ndiza also visited you at Kosimampuru?
Ngale nkathi ke sisebenza ke ngama cell phone records akho uyo washo ukuthi uNdiza nayo ke wazokuvakashela lapha eKhoshimampuru. Yes.
Umngani wami ngithi bengisebenza naye.
He is my friend and he was also a co-worker.
Phela mina nasiqabela ngoJohn ithi sidibanisile ukubhorigori iplatinum kuphela.
We are not fighting and we're working together to work with the platinum.
Yes, more or less, when was that visit?
Manje ke ungasho ukuthi ke uyena uNdiza ke weza nini ezokuvakashela?
Angisakhumbuli ilanga.
I cannot recall the day.
Yes. Now, Mr. Ntanzi, the reason why we are asking all this is that the cell phone records, Exhibit DD 5E Roman figure 1, indicate contact with family and friends.
Isizathu sokuthi ke sikubuze konke lokhu ukuthi ke ama cell phone records akhe ke wakho ke kakhulukazi ke Exhibit DD ikhombisa ke ukuxhumana phakathi kwakho nabangani futhi nabomndeni.
We have showed you that on your other number, the secondary number ending 8460, that there was a call by Ndiza on the 17th of June 2020 at 19:40:22 to your number, and the tower is 3G Pretoria North.
Futhi ke uma ngale ngathi ke sisebenza ke ngama cell phone records ke wakho ke labe ku exhibit D kuyakhomba ukuthi le nombolo yakho enye lo nayo lecela ngo8460 kuyoba khona ke ucingo ke phakathi kwefoni yakho nekandiza ke mhla ka 17 June ngo2022 isikhathi ke beku 1940-22 futhi umbhoshongo ke beku Pretoria.
Namanje ngisaphinda phambi kwecourt. Ngisacela umshushisa ukudukisa icourt.
I'm still repeating myself, my lord. I'm requesting the prosecutor not to mislead the court
And udukisa nalento eqoshwa lapha ecourt.
and also misleading the evidence or the case that we are dealing with here in court.
Because enkantolo police station azange ngibe ne visit.
My lord, at the police station, I never had a visitor.
Ivisit ngwaqala ukwathola kuphe Ramshane Rustenburg.
The first visit was when I was at Ramshane at Rustenburg.
2021.
That was in 2021.
Siphinde eGosi Mapule mina ngifike ngo2022.
And I arrived at Khosi Mampuru in 2022.
Manje ngangifika nini ngo2020 eGosi Mapule.
So when did I go to Khosi Mampuru in 2020?
So ngicela uma ubhala ama question akho msheshisa ngibhalele inkulumo engiyikhulumile.
Prosecutor, I'm pleading with you that when you are putting your questions, put your questions according to what I had said before the court.
I don't know if you are misunderstanding the questions.
Angazi ukuthi mhlambe ke awuzwisisi kahle imibuzo ke lo buzo wona.
Cha, nguzwa kahle uthi yena ngo2020 mina 2020 bengisasema processing bengekho eGosi Mapule nase Ramshane.
I understand your questions very well. You are saying in 2020, all this started in 2020, and in 2020 I was not at Khosi Mampuru.
Umthetho wasejele nowase police station izinto ezihlukene lezi. Ejele khona nabo baba laba bona uniform yakho igqoka kanjani. Lo baba buka lo baba ebuka. Uthatha ipolice station yase police station njengalo yabhuti ohleli lapha ekhona izinto engafani lezi.
The rules applied in the police station and the present in the prisons are two different entities or rules. If you check the police officials who are before the court, some are from the prison and some from the police station, and they all work differently.
Mr. Ntanzi, you are wrong, I'm afraid. You misunderstood the question. The question was, cell phone records indicate that your number was contacted by family and friends as early as the 17th of June 2020, and we have referred you to the call from Ndiza's number on the 17th of June 2020 at 19:40 and 22 seconds to your number 8460, and that the tower that made contact with that device is Pretoria North. That was the question.
Mnumzane Ntanzi, uthi komshushisi ke mhlambe ke awuzange usise kahle umbuzo obuza wona ke. Uthi komshushisi ke inombolo yakho le egcina ke ngo8460 ke iyathola ke ama calls ke abuya ke abantu bomndeni futhi nabangani. Yo inombolo yakho baqala ngaqedza inombolo yakho lena ke kubonakala mhla ka 17 June ngo2020 isikhathi ke ku 1940-22 lapho ke inombolo yakho le yathola ucingo ke liphuma kundiza le nombolo egcina ngo8460 umbhoshongo wakho na ku Pretoria North.
Nkosi enkantolo mina ifoni yami ngihlukana nayo ngoJune 16 mangiboshwa.
My lord, the last time I was with my phone was on the 16th of June upon my arrest.
And we have placed this.
Ngicela ukuqhubeka.
I'm
Can I
sorry.
continue?
Ngiphinde futhi inkosi enkantolo azange ngibe ne visit ngisese police station. Pretoria North, Vereria, Pretoria North, Jimmy Sting ile police station le ngikhohle igama azange ngibe ne visit inkosi enkantolo.
And also to add, my lord, I never had any visit whilst I was still at the police station, the Pretoria North Police Station, Verulam Police Station, Germiston Police Station, and this other police station that I forgot the name. I never had visitors when I was in those police stations.
Ngiqala ukuba ne visit kuphi eRustenburg, eRamshana nalapha eGosi Mapule. Khathi ngiqala ukubona abantu bakithi.
I've only started having visits when I was at Rustenburg and Ramshana and also at Khosi Mampuru. That was the first time that I had visits from family members.
Now, we've already placed the cell phone number of Ndiza, index number 228, and it's 08105 77786. which, as we've just put to indicate that it made contact with your number ending 8460 on the 17th of June 2020 at 19:40:22.
Futhi ke sesikubekela ukuthi ke inombolo kaNdiza ke leyo 081057786 ke iyaxhumana ke nenombolo yakho legcina ngo8460 usuku futhi bekuyi17 zika June ngo2020.
And the tower for your device was 3G Pretoria North.
And ke ifoni yakho ke ibibamba kumbhoshongo ke we Pretoria North.
Ngicela ungitshene nesikhathi la.
Can you please kindly tell me the time?
Yes. We'll repeat the time gladly, 19:40 and 22 seconds.
Isikhathi ke sosiphinda futhi 19:40:22.
Mina ngangena phone nkosengandona.
My lord, I did not have a phone then.
And we have already referred you to the call on the 26th of June 2020 at 16:40 and 29 seconds. It was an incoming call from your mother's number 07906967750 to your number ending 6890.
Futhi ke siyasakubekela futhi ke lincingo futhi ke lwenzakala mhla ka26 June ngo2020 isikhathi ke ku16:40:29 ke ubuya ke ecingweni kama wakho ke nombolo yakho ku0790696750 lecingweni lakho ke logcina ngo6890
with the tower University of Pretoria.
umbhoshongo ke ku-University of Pretoria.
No 26 angise Pretoria.
Are you saying on the 26th I was in Pretoria?
Yes, we have put it to you, Mr. Ntanzi, that the cell register indicate that you were transferred to Brooklyn Police Station on that day.
Brooklyn.
Yes.
Ama record akhomba ukuthi ke ubu transfer usuka ke Brooklyn Police Station ngalo lo suku lo 26 ka June.
Ngicela ukuyibona lo record le.
May I kindly see that record you are referring to?
Leyo kuphuma kwame Pretoria ngiyale police station isho ngicela ukulibona lelo.
The one that shows my moving from Pretoria to the police station that you are now
Yes.
referring to.
Yes, we'll show it to you. But the point of the matter, Mr. Ntanzi, is that the cell phone records indicate contact with family and friends, and that if there were any assaults, they would have been reported to those friends and family members.
If there were any
Assaults,
okay.
as you allege.
Mnumzane Ntanzi uthi ke umshutshisa kubekela afuna ukubhekela ukuthi ke ama cell phone records akho ayakhomba ukuthi ke bekhona ke xhumana ke kusuka ke amanombolweni omndeni futhi nabangani eza ke enombolweni yakho ke uma ngabe vele ngempela wena ke uye washaya ke labantu laba komndeni nabangani kube ubazisile ngokushaya kwakho.
Ngibazisile ifoni yami kuphi? Ngoba mina ngangena phone ifoni ngehlwana ngo June 16.
Letting them know how, because I did not have a phone. The last time that I had a phone was on the 16th of June.
Ngiphinde ngikhulume lapha ecourt ke ngikuvula amehlo kancane phambi kwecourt. Alikho iphoyisa ngathi lizokubophela kuyeke nefoni. Okuqale lokho nqa into yohamba le.
And again, let me just bring some light to you. Firstly, there is no police officer that will arrest you and still leave you with your phone.
Nangumnqubo. Umnqubo umbophanga, uboshwe ngamanye amaphoyisa amthathele ifoni.
Here is Mncube. You did not arrest Mncube. He was arrested by another set of police officers. They also took his phone.
Nangusibiya, uboshwe nguwe namaphoyisa ogenende, nimthathele ifoni.
Here is Bia, who was arrested by you and Genindas. You took his phone.
Njengamanje mina ngikuphi ngise police station ngelanga lokuqala ifoni yami sephosphorus. Ihambe nobani kwephosphorus mina ngisele masele.
In my situation, I was at the police station, but my phone was in Phosphorus. Who took it to Phosphorus?
Okugcina nci mina ngangeke ngisokole ngempahla zokugeza into zokugeza nangempahla zokugqoka. Uma uthi ngangixhumana nowami umndeni. Omzala abasebenza khona lapha ePitoli bahlala kule ndawo kuthiwa kusethembise engayazi. Ngangeke ngisokole.
And lastly, I would not have had any issues with getting my toiletry and clothes if I was in contact with my family members. I have my cousins who stay around in Pretoria, in Tembisa, in a place that is unknown to me. There was no way that I would struggle or not have the toiletries and the
ngisho
clothes.
ubhuti ushoes lo wangithatha ekhaya wangifaka emsebenzini eRustenburg ngiyazi ukuthi wayezofika ke ngemoto angilethele impahla ukube
Even-
mina ngangiphethe ifoni.
Even Brother Shoes, the one that got me a job, he would have come with his car to bring me clothes and also toiletries.
Yes. Can we, just before adjourn, Mr. Ntanzi, just remind you that when you comment on the evidence. You don't comment personally to anyone. You comment on the evidence that is before court.
Mnumzane Ntanzi, ngithanda ukuthi phela ngikhumbuze ukuthi ke uma mhlambe ke uphendula ke noma ke uthanda ukubeka ke ofuna ukukusho ke ngicela ukuthi ke uphendulele kufakazi lobo obekele khona ungakhombi umuntu ukhulume ngobufakazi lobo obekwe phambi kwakho uphendulele phezu kofakazi lobo obekele khona phambi kwakho.
Mina phambi kwekhoti ngifundiswe ungibuza izinto kaNtuli uNtuli angimazi.
You are the one who taught me all this. You are asking me about Ntuli and I
Yes.
don't even know Ntuli.
Ungibuza izinto kaMaphisa uMaphisa mina ngimazi.
You are asking me about Mapisa, things that relate to Mapisa, and Mapisa is unknown to me.
Ungibuza izinto kaMncube mina ngimazi. Ngiqala ukumbona kulamacala bonke.
Yes.
You are also asking me about things relating to Ncube, who is also unknown to me. The first time that I saw him or her was here in court.
Yes. When you comment on the evidence that is before court.
Uma
On the-
ke uphendule nje phela kulo bufakazi lobu obubekele khona la enkantolo.
Nami ke ngiyacela phambi kwekhoti before ikhoti iguqu ungangibuzi ngezinto zoMncube noMaphisa. Ungangibuza into zamngane nami uGwabini.
Before we adjourn, I also have a request to you. Don't ask me about things that relates to Mapisa and other people. You can also ask me about things that relates to Gwabeni since he is my friend.
As a court, please, my lord, is it appropriate time to take the short agenda?
Yeah, fine.